So good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning for the Board of Environmental Safety meeting. I am Sheena Brooks, the board clerk, and today we are joined by the following Board of Environmental Safety staff: Swati Sharma, our executive officer. Today's meeting is being recorded, and by your continued participation is acknowledgement that you are being recorded. Today is December 14th, 2023 at 9:31, and the meeting is now called to order. Madam Chair?
Yes, sorry. Will you call the roll, please?
Jeannie Rizzo,
Present?
Sushma Bhatia,
Here.
Georgette Gomez,
Here.
Alexis Strauss-Hacker,
Here.
and Lizette Ruiz.
Present.
All members are present. A quorum is established. At this time, I would like to acknowledge for the record that Chair Rizzo, Vice Chair Strauss-Hacker, and Executive Officer Swati Sharma are on site at today's teleconference location in the DTSC Berkeley office. I will now review some logistical items for this meeting, which is being conducted virtually with remote options for public participation by phone and Zoom. If anyone experiences connectivity issues with Zoom, you may join on your phone by calling the number shown on the slide. I will also provide it in the chat now. The next slide shows today's agenda, which can also be found on our website at bes.dtsc.ca.gov. For today's meeting, the board will conduct a closed session as authorized by Government Code Section 11126, (a)(1), to perform its annual personnel evaluation. The board will convene into closed session after public forum at approximately 10:05 this morning. The board will reconvene in open session at approximately 12:25 this afternoon, and agenda times may fluctuate to accommodate agenda items. Closed captions are enabled, and you can move the caption display or turn it off altogether. And to protect everyone's virtual space and networks, we will use the Q&A function as our chat function to ensure that harmful spam links are not shared with our virtual attendees. And the Q&A function will be reserved for those attendees that are experiencing technical difficulties or are unable to make verbal comments. Please clearly state at the beginning of your comment, please read aloud, and a designated staff person will notify me. And to ensure that all board members are fully present and focused on today's presentations and discussions, they are not reading or following along in the chat. All participants will remain muted until a Zoom host unmutes them once recognized for comment. And the only videos and screens that will be shared today will be that of the board members, board clerk, and any presenters. Madam Chair, that concludes this morning's logistical items.
Thank you, Sheena, and welcome to those of you on Zoom for the public forum. Sheena will manage public comments. This portion of the meeting is public comments for items not on the agenda. When we go into closed session, as Sheena mentioned, it's for personnel review. So if you have a comment for obviously anything other than the evaluation of personnel, you'll have 2 minutes, and Sheena, will you manage that? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So with that said, we will now open the floor for public comment. So please raise your virtual hand on your Zoom toolbar or press *9 on your phone. I will acknowledge each commenter by first and last name as displayed on Zoom, and I apologize in advance if I mispronounce any names. If you would like to express your comment in writing, you may submit it via email to besinfo@bes.dtsc.ca.gov. If you are experiencing technical difficulties or are unable to make verbal comments, you may use the Q&A function. And please clearly state at the beginning of your comment, please read aloud, and a designated staff person will notify me. Each commenter will be given 2 minutes. So the screen currently shows a timer for 3 minutes. So I will manually time on my phone for the 2 minutes. If you anticipate that your comment will be longer than 2 minutes and would like to request a time extension from the board chair, please do so at the start of your comment. At this time, I'm seeing no hands. So last call for public forum. If you would like to make a comment, this will be the time now, since the board will be going into closed session right after this segment. Last call for public forum. Seeing no hands raised, Madam Chair.
I just would like to reaffirm, since there are 12 people on the call on Zoom, it's quite possible that people thought this was a regular board meeting where there was a substantive agenda that they could participate in. We do appreciate comments, so unless a hand goes up, we will go into closed session. I'm assuming nobody's having technical difficulties, or you would have heard.
Sheena, can you just check our info email box?
And make sure.
Just to make sure no emails were received.
Yes.
One chat. Yeah.
No, still nothing, Madam Chair.
Okay. Well, thank you for bearing witness to our opening and closing of this session. We will now go into closed session. Gina, can you shuttle us to the a breakout room? And for those of you who think you might want to come back or wait to see, there really is, we will only be announcing that we conducted personnel evaluations. So there won't be substantive comments when we come back into open session. So I'm not sure, unless you want to hang out, that there's reason for you to take your time with us this morning. But thank you all very much.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am now moving you all to breakout rooms. Georgette, I'm doing a roll call. Georgette, Liz, Sushma, Swati. Okay, so all of you will be in a breakout room. Good afternoon, everyone. So I see everybody has returned. Madam Chair, are you ready to reconvene for open session?
Will you
Wait,
call?
you're on mute.
Mhm.
Now go ahead.
Will you call the roll, please, Sheena?
Thank you, Madam Chair. All members are present. A quorum is reestablished. And I would like to take this time to remind everyone that this meeting is being recorded, and by your continued participation is acknowledgement that you are being recorded. I will now hand it back to you, Madam Chair, for your closing remarks.
Thank you. I first of all want to thank all the board members and Sheena, our board clerk, for setting up this meeting and participating. The board conducted its annual performance review of our executive officer. I want to thank, I know there were people in the public forum. We didn't have any questions or comments, but appreciate your paying attention to what the board's doing. The board did conduct a unanimous vote in support of the executive officer's stellar performance, and will be preparing that for the HR department, as well as our recommendations in terms of compensation. So we took care of that by vote, and now we will move on to remind everyone that there's a board meeting that will take place January 16th and 17th in Ontario to both hear the hazardous waste permit appeal for lighting resources and to conduct our regular meeting. And if there's nothing that board members.
Madam Chair, I
Yes.
move that we adjourn.
There's a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second? And I believe it all in favor.
Second.
Okay, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thank you all. The meeting is officially adjourned at 12:20 for the record. Thank you all.